Hello, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. It's Monday. I was about to say Tuesday for a second. It's Monday, and we're going to play some more Ace Attorney. Last time we got our client a Tengu guy. Or, well, he's been accused of murdering someone. Well, dressed as a Tengu, I guess. But yeah, so we're on our first day of the trial. I think. Yeah. So let's see what we can do to help. That's because we have a possible locked room situation where someone probably went in and out through a vent. And it honestly seems like we kind of already know who did it. And if it's not who I think it is, then I'm going to be very, very surprised. Well, I mean, we know who did it because we watched the opening cutscene, I guess. But, like, also, even if they didn't show us the opening cutscene to show us who killed, like, who did the stabbing and everything, the tall, crazy person with the makeup would still be who I would figure as doing it, you know? I would point my pointer right at him and be like, hey, you're the one who did it. You're the ringleader. Oh, also, it was the eclipse today. So it is April 8th, 2024. Well, April 18th according to this, but it was April 8th today. And so I took some good pictures of it, and I can show you later if you like, maybe near the end of the stream. That's right, and we put them in their alternative clothes. You okay, Athena? You've been really antsy ever since we got here. I'm just excited. This is my first real court case after all. Yeah, a real ball excitement she is. I know just what she needs. Athena! Did you ever learn about indoor and outdoor voices? Just trying to show you the best way to relieve your pretrial jitters. Are you scaring the daylights out of me? No. I find that shouting, I'm fine, in a loud voice really relieves stress. It's part of my Chords of Steel voice workout, and a must before every trial. You want me to shout? Here? That's right. Here, I'll go first. Then you try. I'm Apollo Justice, and I'm fine! Alright. I'm Athena Sykes, and I'm fine! I think that actually worked. I thought it might help. Always works for me. An old friend of mine from junior high and I say it all the time. Hey, see? A proven remedy to calm the soul. I like it. Hey, how about we finish off with a race around the courthouse? The point is to relieve stress, not get totally exhausted. What's with all the racket you two? Oh god, I forgot that we put him into that outfit though. Oh man. He even has the mask for him to like cough and have it fly around in his face. Boy, he looks odd. Also really, really tall. Because he takes up the entire screen. Mr. Wright. Just a little voice workout. Hey, what's with the suit? Oh, this? Oh god. Oh no, they're talking about clothes he's not wearing. I was thinking about getting my attorney's badge back, that's all. That's all? That's huge news. But why now? I have a feeling I'll be needed in the courtroom again sometime soon. But we can talk about that another time. No fair. Inquiring minds want to know. Oh wow. So used him in his usual laid-back clothes. I really wish that I hadn't put him into this outfit for that. Whoops. That suit makes him look like $1 million. By the way, have you heard about the prosecutor assigned to this case? I wish for stuff like that where like the dialogue specifically refers to clothes, that they would temporarily like override your preference of what clothing you're putting him in, you know? Like I know it makes it funny, but still kind of makes it hard. Yeah, he's serving time. But before that, he was a prosecutor? He also uses psychology. That's right. I've heard the rumors about how he was back before his conviction. Using the power of suggestion, he could make even the most stalwart defendants confess. Psychology for courtroom. Been hearing a lot about that lately. So he must be a pretty scary guy, considering he's a prison inmate and all. So they say. They also say he'll cut you down if you talk too much. I knew it was going to be bad news. It's probably just hyperbole. At least I hope for your sake. Wait, so is it true or not? Let's just say you should be concise and choose your words carefully. If you'd like to keep that head of yours attached to the rest of your body. Yikes. Better turn down my cores of steel too. So are you all ready? It might be a good idea to check the court record again before stepping into the ring. Right, Mr. Right. But I'm fine. I'll be watching from the gallery. Good luck. Thanks. Okay then, let's do this. The odds of pulling this off are ridiculously low, but that's nothing new. Believe in our client. Seek the truth. That's all we can do. Hang in there, Mayor Tenma. Here comes justice. Whoa, here he comes. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. I'm so not used to it being in.
Court is now in session for the trial of Damien Tenma.
Apollo Justice, defense team leader, is ready, Your Honor. Nice outfit, Apollo.
I know that big booming voice anywhere. As chipper as ever, hey, Mr. Justice? What? Who is the young lady next to you?
I'm Athena Sykes, Mr. Justice's junior partner, and fresh out of law school.
Well now, full of beans too, hey? Excellent. Makes an old man feel young again. Now for the prosecution. It appears the prosecution is not ready yet.
Never fear, for I shall explain. It's just a minor procedural complication, Your Honor. The prosecutor for this case is being escorted from prison as we speak.
Prison? Oh, yes, of course. Just forgot that he is currently serving time.
Why are you so calm about this?
Yup, Prosecutor Blackwell's an inmate.
For murder? For murder, seriously. Or was it just assault?
But even a convicted murderer still got a job to do and duties to perform.
What? What? That makes so little sense. Okay. He has a lot more hair than I expected. Who's that with his back to us over there? That's him. I'm sure of it. Prosecutor Blackwell.
Is the prosecution ready?
Enough jabbering. Get on with it already.
Of course. Forgive me.
Why are all the people related to this case so scary?
Very well, Prosecutor Blackwell. Your opening statement, if you please. What's the matter?
Must we continue to fritter away time like this? Is it all right there in the indictment? An opening statement. Pointless.
Pointless? Oh, well.
Looks like the cat, or in this case, the prosecutor, has the judge's tongue.
But we need an opening statement as an overview of the case at hand.
Well then, your baldness. If it's so very important, why don't you do the honors?
Who? Me?
There's a time for people who whine and fuss about how they need silly, useless things. And then decide they no longer want them once it's theirs. Selfish old fool.
Huh?
Wait, was that the prosecutor's opening statement? Old dotard such as you are a plague upon the young. I pity your poor grandchildren. Or is it great-grandchildren?
All these years, I thought the opening statement was the prosecutor's job. But I suppose I could give it a try. Might be a nice change of pace.
What? Did she fall for that? That must have been the power of suggestion Mr. Wright was talking about. No, that's just a fucking asshole.
The opening statement, huh? Let's see here. The victim was one Rex Cuby, alderman of Nine Hills Vale, and the defendant, Damien Tenma, mayor of Tenma Town, is accused of his murder.
And why, pray tell, was the mayor arrested?
His prints were on the murder weapon. Plus, he had motive. The elimination of the biggest roadblocks in the municipal merger. The caretaker and the secretary, other potential suspects, both have alibis. And his daughter, who was also in the vicinity at the time of the incident, has no motive.
So, in a nutshell,
I'd have to say the charges against the defendant are incontrovertible.
bravo, your baldness. Your years of experience shine bright like your head.
Ho, ho, ho. Flattery will get you everywhere.
He's playing Simon Says with the judge.
Moving right along now. Let's hear from our first witness for today, Detective Fulbright. Witness, please state your name and occupation.
I'm the detective assigned to this case, Bobby Fulbright. Oh, and I'll also be keeping tabs on old Blackwell here.
I also heard you would provide protection if it ever came to that.
It would seem that I had been sorely underestimated. Wait, who's protecting who from what? Still, I truly believe anyone can turn their life around, even old Blackwell here. Fool, right. Save your platitudes at funerals. Get on with your statement. That's the spirit. Justice must be swift and true. I see it in your eyes. There is hope for your rehabilitation and return to society. I will never give up on you. Prosecutor Blackwell doesn't seem to intimidate Detective Fulbright. Well, you know what they say. Ignorance is bliss. Oh, so that's why Detective Fulbright was assigned Blackwell. He's so oblivious.
Now, let's have your first statement, Detective Fulbright.
You got it. But first, I'd like to say to the defense that justice will ultimately prevail. Alderman Cuby was murdered with a spear that had been on the wall. The fingerprints of the defendant, Damien Tenma, were found on the murder weapon. At the time, Alderman Cuby was asleep from a drug he unwittingly ingested. Mayor Tenma attacked his helpless victim, impaling him like a human shish kebab. But the sudden pain jolted the victim awake. He grabbed a statue and struck back. Alderman Cuby had been slipped some kind of sleep-inducing drug? Yes, right. The accused was scared because the alderman was a former pro wrestler. So he slipped him a drug to make sure he'd be out cold and defenseless. Here's the autopsy report to prove it.
And the victim managed to attack his attacker, despite being impaled by a spear? That sounds almost superhuman. Is it even possible?
Well, he was a former pro wrestler after all. That spear was probably nothing more than a mosquito bite to him.
Objection!
Not so fast. Don't try to brush it all off by saying the alderman had been a pro wrestler. Do you really expect us to believe he could fight back after being skewered by a spear? Never heard of the incredible feats which man is capable of in a pinch, have you? Like the samurai of yore, the wrestlers can battle through intense pain, sharpens their senses. I used to talk about it with a former wrestler I met in the clink. I don't know. Still sounds a little far-fetched. Does it now? Then perhaps we should test the theory on you with the edge of my blade. I didn't sign up for this. Yeah, he doesn't actually have a sword. And so your life is spared. For now. Please, let those shackles be made of titanium. I don't want to die. My investigations aren't as thorough as they are foolproof, or my name isn't Fulbright. I vow to resign immediately if I ever make a false arrest. The accused prints were on the weapon, and he's the one person without an alibi. Quite sights of evidence. Wouldn't you agree, your baldness?
The defendant is sounding guiltier by the minute.
Is the judge leaning towards a guilty verdict? And the trial's just barely begun. What's more, a curious rumor about the accused is making the rounds. They say he seeks the merger for the purpose of freeing Temataro from his imprisonment. Truth be told, I can think of no reason to show interest in that backwards verdict. Perhaps he's a complete nutty and really does seek to release an imaginary demon. Either way, it's raving mad and more than capable of murdering the alderman. Strange, all right? Hey, went to a blood draw. The donor, you tried to make a withdrawal. Really?
Order! There will be no gossiping in my court.
Good boldness. Please take a gander at those charm plastered across his cranium. I hear they're meant to keep him safe from possession by the demon Temataro. Then again, perhaps he's already under the demon's spell. Behold, the lunatic appears poised to lunge at you at any moment.
Hold it!
The rumors and quirks of Mayor Tema have no relevance to this case. Besides, those charms on his head, they're just a fashion statement, I think.
Come to think of it, such things don't seem relevant to the case, do they?
The prosecution will refrain from dragging our client's reputation through the mud. Huh. What a dreadfully fearsome lass we have here. Huh. Thanks for that lifeline up here. Careful, Apollo. Here's the judge dancing in the palm of his hand. The power of suggestion is one of the more powerful tools in Simon Blackmore's arsenal. He's trying to manipulate everyone's impression to suit his objectives. This guy really is bad news.
In any case, it seems the victims did manage to defend himself, despite being impaled.
What sort of weapon did he use against his attacker? None other than this statue right here.
Oh, it appears to be a statue of two strange creatures.
Okay, well, I don't know. I don't know what it is, but like the past 3 streams of this game, I've been yawning constantly through it. I don't know why. 2 yokai to be exact. On one side is shit. Why does this one game actually respond to those buttons? One side is a 9-tailed fox, and on the other Temataro. Quite interesting if you think about it. It's as though this very case were rendered in art. No prints could be lifted. Interesting.
Mr. Justice, you may proceed with your cross-examination.
Is there? I'm sorry, but... Okay, there's the music. I feel like it's been super quiet the whole time. Alright.
Hold it!
Let's get to pressing, shall we? But not depressing. So those weapons on the wall of the Fox Chamber, I presume those are real? Don't you think keeping real weapons around like that is rather dangerous? No matter what he collected, the alderman insisted it be the real deal. For instance, he had a real demon's club in his possession. Apparently, one of his ancestors claimed it after defeating a demon in battle. That would be an old wives' tale. The alderman had pure, unadulterated justice flowing in his veins. Whatever he did right. We've lost a real champion of justice in his death. Let him claptrap and boulder dash, if you ask me. Now stop your bleeding and tell us about the weapon. Your wish is my command. Wait, that's wrong. Oh, right, it's on the spear. Sorry, I was thinking about the about no prints being on this. It's missing an arm too. It looks like. I wonder where that is. Oh, we'll go back.
Hold it!
It doesn't make sense if you think about it. Prints could be easily wiped off. You have a point there. I'd venture to say he did not wipe off the prints because he could not. What do you mean? Looks like he wants you to figure it out. Well, don't just stand there. Show him who's boss. I'm totally lost. So why don't you just tell me the answer already? I don't think he saw that plea for help. You feeling all right, kid? Running a fever, perhaps? Wish Charles came with a reset button.
Well, the specifics may yet come to light. Please, proceed, Detective Fulbright.
Hold it!
Come to think of it, a coffee cup was found on the floor. Was the sedative in his coffee? Bingo! We found traces of a sleeping agent all over the inside of the cup. And that is why he was out cold. That is, until he leapt to his feet upon being impaled by the mayor. An awful way to wake up. Rather stimulating eye-opener if you ask me. I, too, would have risen to the attack, but to die in battle is the samurai's way. Paradise awaits fallen heroes. That hole stone will make eating a challenge. Prosecutor Blackmore, please! Those morbid jokes of yours have no place in this court. Says a gesture to detective's guys. Moving right along.
Hold it!
So, the alderman was drugged because he was really strong. Did you see those rock-hard muscles of his? I'm surprised the spear managed to pierce that armor-like musculature. I admit, I'm completely jealous of that righteous body of his. Well, he did look pretty buff. Even that suit he had on. Quite a difference when compared with a yellow belly like you. Yellow belly? Who says that anymore? Yeah, and the color's all wrong too. Oh, I know. What a squishy red tomato. I moved to strike both of your comments on the record.
Mr. Justice's character is not the issue here. Now, let's get back to what happened after the far more muscular alderman was impaled.
Yes, well, your average person would likely have died on the spot. But the sudden pain jolted the victim awake, and he grabbed a statue and struck back. Could he really have attacked his attacker after being impaled with that huge spear? Absolutely. After all, he was once a pro wrestler. The injustice of being drugged, then speared, was answered with a righteous counterattack. But does being a former pro wrestler make him superhuman? Absolutely. After all, he was one of the good guys, like a superhero on the side of justice. Even though he was retired, he could still don his superhero guise in times of need.
Objection!
You need to lay off the comic books, detective. We're talking about real life here. Setting aside the half-wit's flights of fancy, the fact is this. The court-ordered postmortem concluded the victim moved after his skewering. But he found the strength somehow to attack his attacker, huh? Detective Fulbright's testimony sounds airtight. No wonder he's so confident. No, he only thinks it's airtight. It's up to us to poke some holes in it. That part about the alderman fighting back sounds like a big hole when poked. So we press each statement. Oops. Alright, so let's save. And then figure out where we're gonna poke, I guess. See, I find this hard to believe. I know in the pressing they said that, like, some of the results were found to say that, you know, that it was a thing, but even still. Oh, I can't look at more details. Huh. The victim been in a drug-induced slumber. See, I don't know. It's kind of hard to believe that dude got up from that. He grabbed a statue and struck back. Maybe we can prove Mayor Timma didn't do it somehow. The mayor's blood was found on him, but no prints. I mean, maybe it's this though, like, because why? See, there's no prints on this, which is the thing that's throwing me off, or not throwing me off, but making me suspicious of it.
Objection!
So I'm gonna go with that. Did the alderman really strike the mayor? What? Are you questioning my sense of justice? Your so-called justice needs to find itself a pair of legs to stand on. You claim the alderman struck back after the mayor put a spear through him. But the statue he supposedly used to defend himself creates a major hole in your theory.
It would appear that the defense has a counter-argument. Very well. Let's hear what the defense thinks is odd about the detective's statue theory.
QB fought unarmed. There are no fingerprints. It's not broken. Well, it is broken. It's missing an arm, and he didn't fight unarmed. He had a statue. So, and also it says there are no fingerprints. There are no fingerprints on this supposedly crucial piece of evidence. And if you look at the crime scene photo, you'll notice that the alderman isn't wearing gloves.
Yes, I believe he is quite gloveless indeed.
If he touched the statue with his bare hands, he should have left some fingerprints. Detective Fulbright, you did take that into account during your investigation, didn't you?
Oh, this can't be happening. Did I arrest the wrong man?
You did it, Apollo. You knocked Detective Fulbright off his high horse.
Well, it's just 1 point in that favor.
Who do you suppose clubbed the mayor if it wasn't the alderman?
Well, it wasn't the alderman. Someone else must have clubbed the mayor.
You mean there was a third party there in the Fox chamber?
Exactly. This could be the big break we've been looking for.
There does seem to be a hole in the prosecutor's argument. Prosecutor Blackmore, would you care to respond to the defense's assertion?
The least you could do is look at me while being dismissive. Your mind is as dull as an unhoned blade, Justice Dono. Justice Dono? You've been watching too many samurai flicks. It would take far more than that to cut down Simon Blackwell. Oh well, such as you has no hope against my superior swordsmanship. This is a trial, not a sword fight, Prosecutor Blackwell. It's a perfectly good explanation for the lack of prints on the statue. You might recall that blood-stained cloth found at the scene of the crime. Well, it just so happens that the blood was the mayor's. So, what are you getting at? Hone your mind, boy. Why was there blood on that cloth? Solve that riddle and you should see the hole you thought you found is but an illusion. Let's see. How was that cloth used? Was it used by QB as a head covering, to wipe up blood, or to wrap the statue? One of the last two. It doesn't make any sense, though. Why would QB wrap the statue with something if he was like in the middle of being impaled by a spear? None of that adds up. Like, you're impaled by a spear, the first thing you think of is, oh, I better not get fingerprints on this device I'm about to go smack someone with. It is interesting that that cloth is over by the alderman. And also that Tenma doesn't have the charms on his head in this picture either. So yeah, this thing is missing your arm. Bet you that's gonna be important at some point. Right, well, he's arguing it's to wipe up blood or to wrap the statues. I mean, wiping up blood isn't really the same as wiping off fingerprints, so he must be implying that it's to wrap the statue. Maybe the alderman wrapped the statue in the cloth. In short, he wasn't touching the statue directly when he used it to strike back at the mayor. Precisely. Bully for you, boy. Huh, it's nothing. Apollo! Don't let him start manipulating you too. You just closed the hole for the prosecution. I did? I did. Right. That's a statue wrapped in cloth with no fingerprints as its play is made. This also proves there are no holes in our theory of the alderman striking back. Ugh. Wait. But there's literally no evidence that says that that would be what happened. And there's, like, why? Why would it be that way? Now, do you see how dull your mind is? I'll make sure to sharpen it next time. Particularly frightening inmate once told me that. He always tenderly honed his blade before he went to work. Like the samurai Bjorn.
Samurai? Sounds more like a homicidal maniac to me.
Actually, he was working in the prison kitchen at the time. So he was a murdering samurai prison chef?
It would seem that the victim and his killer were the only ones there after all.
I was kind of attached to that hole. Now what? Apollo, I just thought of something. If they didn't find anyone's fingerprints on the statue, who's to say someone other than the alderman didn't hit the mayor with it? Oh, why didn't I think of that? Anybody could have not left prints on it. And who, pray? You tell struck the mayor with the statue. Please, illuminate us with your wisdom, young lady. There's only one answer. The real killer. Prove the existence of this real killer, then. What evidence have you? Oh, I'll give you evidence, all right. Athena, you sure about this? Follow your words, Apollo. I'm fine. Take a look at this. Black feathers and tracks, allegedly from a yokai were found at the scene. I believe they're from the third party who struck the mayor with that statue.
Is the defense actually suggesting some sort of monster killed that alderman?
That's exactly what I'm suggesting.
Objection!
No, Athena, you just lost what little credibility we had left. Oh! Sorry. Guess I got carried away.
Mr. Justice, we have no time to deal with objections between members of the defense.
Sorry, Your Honor. It's just, this kid's still, well, a kid. Oh, you meanie! I'm reporting this to Mr. Wright.
So, is this court to believe the feathers and tracks are from a yokai, as you put it?
Yokai. Dun, dun, dun. No, Your Honor. I believe they are a fabrication. The real killer wants us to believe some sort of monster murdered the alderman.
Interesting. And why do you suppose the killer would do that?
Why indeed.
Mr. Justice, you seem as new to this as your partners.
That's not loud reporting to Mr. Wright. He's in the audience, dude. Why, fool Bright. Explain to his boldness what those brats are missing. You know, the who and why behind those feathers and tricks. What? You mean you can explain all that? Our investigative prowess is without equal. Starting to think I chose the wrong profession.
Very well. Let's hear about those so-called yokai feathers and tracks.
Feathers and tracks. This entire case centers on one man's attempt to crush opposition to the municipal merger. Mayor Temma panicked when the amazing Ninetales helped embolden the protesters. So he stoked the villagers' fears by fabricating a monster. The strange feathers and tracks he planted made it look like a yokai was the killer. Those feathers and tracks stoked the villagers' fears? Absolutely. He knew exactly how to prey on their superstitious minds. And those feathers only gave weight to the idea that the alderman was slain by a demon. The accursed demon Temataro, that is.
Tenma who?
Temataro, the legendary demon locked away in the village's forbidden chamber. From a young age, the villagers are taught to fear the great black-feathered demon. And thus were they blinded to other, more plausible explanations.
Hold it!
Hold on for a second. Before we start letting our imaginations run wild, isn't there someone else that could be considered a suspect?
Mr. Justice, please explain yourself.
On the day of the incident, there was a special event held at Kibi Manor. And as part of this event, there was someone dressed in the likeness of Temataro. Obviously, this person is a much more likely suspect than any legendary demon.
Objection!
Oh, that's his voice. Deled, you are playing right into the killer's mind games. What? Listen here. The feathers and tracks were merely red herrings. The villagers believed the murder to be the work of the real Temataro. However, the police believe that the person in the Temataro suit is the killer. The defendant sought to sow this confusion in order to deflect blame away from himself. However, he was knocked unconscious by the alderman. And thus, our mentally deficit mayor was caught red-handed at the scene of the crime.
Objection!
Do you honestly believe Mayor Temma would do something so stupid?
Objection!
Oh, he's a little brutish. Hold on. The evidence speaks for itself, Foolbright. Right. It was the mayor's last-ditch effort to stop the opposition before things got crazy. The amazing Ninetales was fueling both the yokai craze and the anti-merger movement. Plus, he's one of the better-known masked wrestlers and the hometown favorite. That's why the mayor panicked and set out on the path of injustice.
But do the people of Ninetales Vale really believe a yokai is behind the crime?
Yokai sightings are an everyday event there, so I wouldn't be surprised if they did.
I must say, a crime that preys upon innocent, impressionable minds.
Just so. A particularly silver-tongued inmate once said the following words for me. The innocent of heart are the easiest prey.
You don't say. Was this inmate a con artist?
No. He was framed for the murder of his beloved. I actually felt sorry for the poor chap. Wait, so he wasn't the predator, but rather the prey?
Yes, well. Now then, the defense may proceed with their cross-examination.
I honestly forgot that we even had anything to examine. That dialogue went on for quite a bit there. I don't think he has a reason. Or motive, I should say, because doesn't Mayor Temma, like, his daughter is now going there to the Vale to work and such. Like, why would he want to stoke fears there?
Hold it!
Detective Fulbright, is the anti-merger movement really that strong? Oh, absolutely. They parade around in yokai costumes shouting, "Down with Mayor Temma!" And just the other day, they stormed Tema City Hall, claiming it was a den of vipers. But when the accused showed his face, the angry mob scattered like leaves upon an autumn wind. There you see, lowly yokai are no match for Tenma Taro, the dark lord of their kind.
Wait, are the villagers scared of Mayor Tenma or Tenma Taro? I'm confused.
I think he means Mayor Tenma. Easy to get the wrong impression with the guy.
Detective Fulbright, why do you suppose the defendant would commit such an act?
Hold it!
The amazing Ninetales. No one knows his true identity, right? That's right. And he was a lone wolf. Or in other words, he didn't belong to a wrestling federation. He appeared like a shooting star, defeating one Tenma Town wrestler after another. And before anyone knew it, he was the champion. Like the samurai of yore, surrounded thick with enemies, he cut them down one by one. It was a complete and utter loss of face for Tenma Town Pro Wrestling. It was amazing. If there was a real superhero, it'd be him. I dream of becoming a true champion of justice like him someday. I bet Detective Fulbright would be a great pro wrestler. He could even team up with Prosecutor Blackbelt. A police detective and a prisoner in chains. You know, I think people would actually pay to see that. I know I would. So you do understand the greatness that is the amazing Ninetales.
Hold it!
I don't think that's true. They were just selling great on that. Did the murdering yokai evidence really stoke the villagers' fear? Absolutely. Had an immediate effect. The presumed return of the dreaded Tenma Taro has been shaking in their boots.
Oh my, is it really that bad?
That superstitious lot. It's as if Jack the Ripper had been set loose in the village. The mere thought of that demon lurking about is enough to spark a mass exodus.
I see. The very persuasive argument.
The mere thought of it on her buying into Simon the Psycho Slasher's words. I just want to spark my own exodus on the courtroom right about now. So you see, there can be only one reason why anyone would plant those feathers and tracks.
Hold it!
I don't think we can disagree with that statement. But it doesn't add up. If what you say is true, why top it off with murder? What do you mean? You claim that our client planted the yokai evidence that stoked the villagers' fears. If so, then why not stop there? Why murder Alderman Cuby?
Oh, excellent point.
It is, isn't it? So, Your Honor agrees there was no reason for the murder, correct?
Objection!
Perhaps the killer was on the spur of the moment. You're saying it wasn't premeditated? From the outset, I had no intention of paying heed to any of your babble. However, the fact is, the mayor made a startling discovery. A startling discovery? Why don't I like the sound of that? Alderman Cuey's secret identity. Oh, I think Prosecutor Blackwell's figured out the Alderman's secret identity. But even if he has, why would it be a motive for the mayor to commit murder? This is not good. This patch of fur was discovered at the crime scene. It's from the mask worn by the amazing Ninetales. Therefore, we conclude that this mask was at the crime scene.
Oh my, but why would it have been there?
The victim was a former pro wrestler and member of the anti-merger movement. Need I say more?
Well, could it really be?
Your baldness has had an epiphany, I see. Our victim, Rex Cuby, was the amazing Ninetales. And the mayor's discovery of this fact was his motive for murder. Ow! He's putting together a good argument. And he's using facts and logic.
What a shocking development. The motive clear, the crystal clear.
My do we do now, Apollo? I didn't think they'd tie the Alderman's secret identity to the mayor's motive for murder. At last, we've reached my real point. Why did the Alderman have to forge a secret identity? It does not pique your interest, your boldness.
Oh, I admit it does. It is odd that he had to create this other persona just to secretly participate in the anti-merger movement.
Very astute of you, your boldness. Right. Now take a look at this. Blackmail letter. If you value your dearest life, you will merge Ninetales Vale with Tenma Town. This blackmail letter was found in Alderman Cuby's pocket. What? At present, the Alderman's wife is in the hospital, and that letter is clear evidence the mayor was blackmailing him by threatening her life. Wait, didn't the blackmail letter sent to Mayor Tenma missing? Right after the Alderman's murder? You think maybe the killer took the letter from the mayor after the murder and planted it into Alderman's pocket? It's possible. We don't have any proof that that's what happened. Jumping up the creek without a paddle. Mayor Tenma would have made a clean getaway if he just left after playing the yokai things. 1 second, sorry. I just wanted to read the other paragraph. Just more threats. So this is actually from Tenma's pocket. But he was knocked out cold by a sudden decision to kill the amazing Ninetales.
Oh, it was the amazing Ninetales counterattack that brought the entire crime to light.
Wait a second. Reports claim the mayor killed the Alderman after planting the yokai evidence. And the mayor was knocked out cold immediately after that? Detective Fulbright, please add your previous statement to your testimony. Yeah, I don't think that's possible. Pretty sure that's not possible. I mean, there's bloody prints, so that's impossible. I'll press it just to see what the dialogue is, but I'm pretty sure I already know that we should just present the picture on this. So let me get this straight. You believe the mayor planted the yokai evidence before the murder, not after? Absolutely. And then he was knocked out cold by the Alderman's last punch. He wouldn't have had a chance to plant the evidence after that. Something's not right here. Hard to believe that a stiff, humorless man like the mayor could be behind such a stunt. Need to do something, Apollo. Before they pin it all on the mayor. Then we're gonna need to prove that Mayor Tenma didn't plant that yokai stuff. How are we supposed to do that? With a picture, Athena. With a picture. It speaks 1,000 words. Or at least one. And that word is objection! Detective Fulbright, your sense of justice is anything but fair. What's this? You dare question my justice again? Yes. I'm going to prove it to you. Take a look at this photo.
This is the crime scene photo. And just what does it prove?
It proves when the feathers and tracks were planted. Well, I already told you. They were planted before the murder. Oh, hi, Daphne. The defendant planted the yokai evidence, then was knocked out while killing his victim. But that would be impossible. If you look right here, it's clear when the feathers and tracks were left at the scene.
Take that!
Aren't you just pointing to the yokai feathers and tracks, Mr. Justice?
Yes. See how the feathers are on top of the blood, and the tracks were made in blood? In other words, the yokai evidence could have only resulted after the murder. The mayor must have planted the evidence after killing the Alderman. But you said it yourself. The mayor had been knocked unconscious thereafter. There would have been no time for him to plant any evidence at all. Therefore, there must have been someone else besides the mayor and the Alderman at the crime scene. Oh, so there must be some mistake.
Order! Order!
Where's your evidence? You can't possibly have any, can you? Evidence? Oh, I have evidence. In fact, I have an eyewitness's testimony for you. You do? But how? Was my faulty sense of justice really just half-baked? Oh, look at him! Look how sad he is. Oh, the poor guy. He's taking this really hard.
Mr. Justice? What is this testimony regarding a third party that you claim to have?
I have it right here, Your Honor. It's the sworn testimony of Mr. Tema's daughter. The witness, Jinxie Tema, saw a yokai in the hallway after stumbling upon the scene. It was the demon, Temataro. He's the source of those feathers and tracks. You need to say that it's someone in that costume, Apollo. You were so close. Will somebody please say something?
The defense will explain to the court exactly what he means.
You dare to mock this court and justice itself! You aren't fit to bear your name, boy. Your baldness. It appears our defense attorney here is delirious from exhaustion.
Hold it!
Apollo, think of something quick before you're held in contempt of court. What do you think I'm trying to do? Before you decide whether I should step down, please hear me out.
Very well, Mr. Justice. I am whole he is. But you would better explain yourself well. What was this yokai you were talking about?
It's all in the statement here. Jinxie Tema asserts that she saw Temataro after she discovered the crime scene and called the police. She came around a corner in the hall. It's around here. That she saw Temataro fleeing toward the fire. I hate when they have like that long pause in between it. The defense asserts that whoever was impersonating this monster is the one who left those feathers and tracks behind, intentionally or otherwise. Oh, oh, how incredibly unjust! Why haven't I heard about this before? The defense just proved there was something else. Was it all a setup? The prosecutor is a convicted felon after all. Yeah, that's right. Question his character because he's a criminal. That's definitely what we want in this courtroom. Sorry. Water. It's good for you. Apollo, the momentum was shifted in our favor. Good. Let's keep
Objection!
Little do you realize that though you are in the midst of a fray, your sword is broken. My sword? I didn't know I had one to break. Are you implying there's a problem with my claim? Consider this. If that yokai impersonator had indeed fled toward the foyer, that fool and that fop would have seen him. Oh, you mean Filch and LaBelle? Huh. You mentioned it. Both Phineas Filch and Flaunt LaBelle were in the foyer at the time. But they haven't said that they saw a yokai, have they? Would you ever consider that yokai was but a figment of a scared little girl's imagination? Why didn't those two see the Temataro person they passed by? Because they were watching wrestling. Well, one of them was watching wrestling. The other one was murdering someone. Why don't we ask them ourselves? Just about to say that myself. Really, I was. The defense would like to call Mr. Phineas Filch, caretaker of QB Manor, to the stand. I just know he must have seen something.
I suppose we can't ignore the fact that the little girl believes she saw a monster. I trust you have no objection to Mr. Justice's request, Prosecutor Blackwell. I understand that Mr. Filch is enjoying a nap out in the lobby.
I knew that Nick was a rare find. But when we captured him, I didn't think he'd ever go witness. Be with me as you will. Wait, did he just say capture? No, wait, I don't want to know. How does he know anything about that? Like, he was in jail up until this trial. Do they send him the court documents ahead of the time or something? Or, like, does he direct like the police officers to go do things while he's sitting in a jail cell? Because all that makes no sense.
Very well then. Bailiff, please go wake Mr. Filch and escort him to the witness stand.
There he is.
Will the witness state his name and occupation, please?
My name's Filch. Phineas Filch, caretaker of QB Manor. Oh, and this is for you, your lordship. Just a little something I thought you might like.
Oh, my. What a fabulous pair of shoes. And your honor will do just fine, Mr. Filch.
It's those shoes again. Your lordship, okay. Don't they belong to Detective Fulbright? Don't tell me Filch stole them again.
They're all yours, your honorship, sir.
Oh, but they seem awfully expensive.
Yep, too expensive for me. But I reckon they'd be perfect for someone like your ownership.
A kind gesture. But legal ethics dictate I can't accept such gifts.
Thanks. Oh, thanks. Just take them if you want them. Polish them up real nice for you, too.
I'm sorry about the shoes, Mr. Filch, but I will accept your testimony. The court would like to hear whether you saw Temotaro in the foyer after the murder.
Guarding the foyer. Alright. At the time of the murder, I was on guard duty in the foyer, just like Mr. QB asked. I was making sure no one, fair, foul, fishy, or otherwise, could get to our guest. I was still in my office keeping a good watch when the murder happened after 3. Oh, after 3, you say? But I didn't see nothing out of the ordinary. No, sirree. That yokai you keep jabbering on about was but a phantom of the little girl's dreams. So you're telling this court you never saw anyone dressed up like Temotaro? Yeah, well, gone the whole time. That's the truth, the holy truth. Not a butt of the truth. And Temotaro, you don't really believe in all that yokai mumbo jumbo, do you? Well, I certainly don't. A bracelet. It's something the matter, Apollo? My bracelets keep squeezing my arm. Really? So you think Mr. Filch has been lying to us? I want to rule it out. No. I could just zero in on a tell. Some sort of nervous habit. What the fuck? Why is there a bird in the fucking courtroom? Talk to me. What? What? Allow me to introduce my trusty cohort, Taka. He seems to have taken quite a liking to the courthouse. Made it his new home, in fact. He doesn't live with you. You know, in jail. Who's ever heard of a courthouse bird? Taka simply loathes trickery and fraud, and that queer pal of yours seems to have offended my dear bosom buzzard. This isn't some sort of trick. Go to spot squat like this. Whoa, what the heck's going on around here? Run for the hills!
No pets or other animals allowed in this courtroom.
What is this fucking kangaroo court that we're in this time? Like, Like, there's been some pretty screwed up cases here and there. But what the heck is this prosecutor?
Somebody help!
Oh, he's merely having a bit of sport. He won't harm you, save when truly famished.
In that case, Prosecutor Blackwell, you will ensure your feathered friend is properly fed.
Looks like we have to do this the old-fashioned way. We'll be fine, I think. If there was someone dressed as Temataro there, Filch should have seen him. We'll just have to put our faith in Jinxie's statement for now.
Mr. Justice, please proceed with your cross-examination.
I like that they kept the bird on his head. That's good. At the time of the murder, I was on guard duty. Mr. Filch, why did Alderman QB have you handle guard duty?
Yeah, because he trusts me. I am the mayor's caretaker after all.
So you took said guard duty seriously?
Oh, let me tell you something about me. Yeah.
Listen here, you little cheeky. Get straight to the point and be quick about it. The court wishes to hear what you did or didn't see in the foyer, not us.
Yes, of course, sir. Right away, sir.
Marco's gone completely under his thumb.
Well, like I said, I almost got in the foyer entrance that day. Making sure no one, foul, fish or otherwise, couldn't our guest.
So no one could get to him. Sounds like security was pretty tight.
That's because there's always lots of sneaks and thieves on festival time.
And the solution was to entrust the man of security to a thief? That's not even funny. Maybe it's a matter of stopping thieves by hiring one.
After all, it takes one to know one.
I don't know, it seems more like letting the fox guard the hen house to me.
So the witness testifies that he took his guard duty seriously.
Yes, sir, your ownership, sir.
Hold it! Did you really keep an eye on the foyer the entire time?
Oh, I'm working hard my whole life, only to be smeared by some greenhorn in his fancy suit and silly haircut. What? Sorry, Mr. Blackhole, sir. Didn't mean to get off subject there.
I couldn't even say anything.
To answer your question, yes, I kept an eye on both of them back on the foyer. Well, I didn't see nothing out of the ordinary. No, sirree.
Could you describe the court Could you describe to the court who you would consider fishy looking?
Someone all fidgety and shifty like. You know,
like they're about to steal something. He just described himself.
I wonder why Mr. Filch didn't see Temataro.
Maybe Jinxie only thinks she saw Temataro. Or
maybe Mr. Filch is lying.
And if he's lying, you know, I could have spotted a contradiction in his testimony. Oh, this is nice. Alright, this feels pretty easy. I'll save anyway. But it seems like a fairly obvious, like, use the TV schedule against him here. Because it is circled.
Objection!
Don't lie to the court like that, Mr. Filch.
Oh, I can't right to bushwhack a fellow like that.
Unfortunately for you, I have evidence that proves you're lying. If you look at this TV listing here, you'll see that at the time of the crime, there was a pro wrestling match scheduled. Something you'd never miss.
Oh, well, I didn't watch that one. No, sirree. I'll do my job just like I was supposed to.
This guy doesn't know when to give up. Mr. Filch, someone even circled the match. It was you, right?
No.
Not only that, you even told me you watched it. You said, and I quote, "It was a complete disaster."
Oh.
So, do you admit to slacking off?
You can't trick me with your Rudy poor lawyer talk. I'm one of them professional types too. I can double duty, watching TV in the foyer at the same time.
The only thing Filch can claim to be a professional is profession, thief.
Mr. Justice, you have this court believe the witness was slacking off.
That's correct. He claims to have been watching TV in the foyer at the same time. But that's nothing but a bald-faced lie. Hold on, what is it? Oh yeah, okay, because the TV faces that way.
Both, you say? But I'm not the one who's lying. Perhaps you meant the witness, Mr. Justice. In that case, let's see what evidence you can offer. You claim Mr. Filch is lying about watching TV in the foyer simultaneously. Now prove it.
I'm so confident I'm not going to say. Please take a look at the direction the TV is facing in this diagram. Now, unless Mr. Filch has eyes where his right ear should be, I think it would be impossible to watch the foyer entrance and the TV at the same time.
Oh, why yes. Someone watching TV there couldn't possibly see the entrance.
Exactly. And that means, Mr. Filch, you were slacking off and were not watching the foyer as you claim.
Oh, the bags of the cat. All the way around.
Oh, I forgot the box.
Order. 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 But, Mr. Justice, is Mr. Filch's less than stellar work ethic relevant to this case?
It's very relevant. Because while he was slacking off, watching TV, there really could have been a Tematara impersonator.
Objection!
What now? Granted, this Tanuki was lax in his duties, but he still had the foyer entrance covered. What are you talking about? This. I'm not a mind. Auditory sense. His eyes may have been slacking off, but his ears were still hard at work. Right, Tanuki?
They were. Yeah, they were.
But you already admitted to slacking off. Now you say you weren't?
My eyes might be lazy, but my ears ain't. I wouldn't have heard anyone in the foyer. You see, the foyer floor and the stairway get all creaky squeaky when someone walks on them. Squeak, squeak, squeak. Loud enough to wake the dead, I reckon.
So, you're saying you didn't hear anybody walk by?
Yeah, my ears are working full time, so who's the liar now, you no good shyster?
Lying thief calling me a shyster. This has to be the low point of my budget.
Oh, I'll hand it to you, Mr. Blackbolt. It's really something else. I mean, you don't miss a thing. And them bags in your eyes, they're darker than mine.
Yeah, warning, Mr. Filch. Talker is particularly fond of Tanuki. If you lie to this court again, you may suddenly find yourself on the menu.
No, please don't eat me, Mr. Talker, sir.
The witness will henceforth testify truthfully at a penalty of painful burn attacks. With that in mind, the court requests the witness revise his testimony accordingly.
Okay. Take two.
It's true. I was watching a pro wrestling match on the office TV. My eyes might have been slacking off, but my ears, they're working overtime. The floor there's all squeaky squeaky like. No way would have been someone walking by. So you see, there weren't no Tematara for you.
Superstition is the religion of feeble minds. Understand. A simple, rational explanation is best. Forget yokai, demons, and such. You must use common sense. For lacking that, our entire world will be going upside down. Excuse me. Says the convict prosecutor who's totally signed at the end times of the legal world.
And besides, there weren't any yokai roaming about. I'd never been sold to the zoo.
I wonder whether Jinxie was just saying things. That seems to be the general consensus. But I'm sticking to my guns. But we can't prove she saw Tematara. The mayor's sure to be convicted. I better hope my guns fire bullets, not BBs.
The defense may cross-examine the witness.
wonder how we're gonna get on this one.
Hold it!
Yes, you will come up during pressing. You are paid for your work, aren't you? So how do you justify watching TV on the job?
Easy being me. I mean, when we have visitors and there's no way to record stuff.
Sorry, am I supposed to be consoling you or your first world problems? Those are his only problems. Consider himself lucky. Yes, pro wrestling is serious business, Mr. Filch.
Hold it!
You lied earlier about taking your guard duty seriously, didn't you?
Oh, what? Ain't no harm in bending the truth, little right?
Listen to me, you little donkey. Lie again and Tucker shall feast upon that forked tongue.
No. Sorry. Just let me keep my tongue.
Please leave it until we get the truth out of it in any case. You were negligent in your duties, were you not?
Yes, sir, I was, sir. But it ain't like that. Oh, there's all creepy squeaky.
Hold it!
I would have missed someone walking by.
So you have pretty good ears, Mr. Filch.
As good as they come, I'd say. Ain't nothing to hear a creaky floor. Plus, that Temataro makes a sound when he goes by. It's like a jingle jagger.
How do you know that? How does he do that?
It's that staff of his. That's what jingle jaggers.
What's he talking about, Apollo? He's me, but I guess Temataro has a staff that makes noise.
Come to think of it, didn't Jinxie mention something like that too? She said she saw Temataro holding a staff-like object that made a jangly sound.
I guess that's the source of the noise, then.
Well, Mr. Justice, Mr. Filch says Temataro jingle jaggles. Would you consider that vital information?
Yes. Because it proves that he heard it. Right? Because Temataro only fights with his hands? Right? And there's that spear. I feel like that's... It's gotta be related, right? Staff like him with the jingle. Yeah. The question is like, how do you know it would jingle? You know, like how do you know he has a staff because he doesn't always have that?
Hold it!
So Temataro's staff makes a distinctive sound.
Yeah, like a jingle and a jackal. Wait, Jinxie said something like that. Yeah, Temataro making a jangly sound.
I think I'm missing something here, but I can't quite put a finger on it. Perhaps I should take a look at the court record. Oh, I will. Just let me finish pressing.
Hold it!
Please tell the court, what did Jinxie see if it was not Temataro?
Oh, she's going on about seeing this yokai or that. Just an active imagination, I reckon. Won't come near me because she thinks I'm some sort of tanuki monster. Can't say I blame her.
So, Mr. Filch, you chalk it up to a child's active imagination?
Yeah. No Temataro or anyone else got in or out of QB Man on my watch.
Paula, what could this mean?
I think Jinxie was just seeing things.
Well, if that's the case, the details she provided were pretty impressive. If we're to continue believing Jinxie's statement,
Want to uncover Filch's lie?
right, or find out why he can't tell the truth. Okay, I imagine that it's probably her statement. Because it proves a connection between the two, right?
Objection!
Oh, that's not it. Well, we get to see what his things are, I guess. I object to you on personal grounds. The sole contradiction lies in what your faulty logic dreamt of just now.
Objection overruled.
Okay, really though? This staff would have come jingly. Oh, he's supposed to show something that shows that he doesn't have a staff?
Objection!
Okay. Yeah, that's it. Hold on. Since I don't like having to reload, and I don't want to reload more than necessary, I'm going to reload because it means that our health will be at full. So if there's like a big penalty thing, we'll get as many chances at it as we can.
Objection!
Temataro's staff would make a jangly sound, you say? Well, I'm going to say that your story doesn't add up.
Is there something the defense would like to share with the court?
Mr. Filch, you say that you didn't see Temataro on the day of the incident. Why then did you assume just now that Temataro would be holding a staff? Huh? You see, the Temataro Jinx you saw held a staff in his hand, and she described its sound just like you did, as a kind of jangly sound. Yeah, he was always holding a staff. What's your point?
Objection!
The point is that Temataro doesn't use a staff. Not normally. What are you talking about? You see, this is the only known document depicting Temataro. Is there a staff in that picture, Mr. Filch?
You're right. There's no staff. Not even a cane or a walking stick.
No.
The question is, why does the witness think Temataro uses a staff?
I believe the answer will overturn the prosecution's case on the most basic level. Well, this is getting interesting.
Alright, Mr. Justice. Time to show the court where you're going with this. Please, tell the court why Mr. Filch believes Temataro carries a staff.
Scrolls raw. He actually saw Temataro. Filch is a scatterbrain. What good options? Mr. Filch actually saw Temataro right after the crime occurred. That's the only way you could possibly know about the staff.
What's it again?
Bloody hell, you duplicitous little... Yes, now that the black quilt. Not so fun when you're on the receiving end of the blade, is it? Admit it, Mr. Filch. You did see Temataro that day, didn't you? Well?
Please don't make me say it.
But clearly you did see Temataro. Stop stalling and testify to that fact.
No can do. No way, no how. You've got no idea how terrifying he can be.
He? Mr. Filch still won't admit to seeing Temataro, even though everyone knows he did. The question now is why. Mr. Filch is scared to death. Is that why he can't admit the truth? Come to think of it.
They say you must not gaze upon Temataro, but in the event that you do look, and then tell anyone what you saw, Temataro will claim your soul.
Jinxie wouldn't admit to seeing Temataro after hearing about the village superstitions. She said if she told anyone that she'd seen Temataro, he'd claim her soul. Wait, you think Filch believes that too?
Mr. Big Time City Sucker Lawyer has heard about him? The old village superstitions?
Will the defense please explain what the witness is talking about?
The people of Ninetales Vale believe some pretty strange things, and the superstitions may be the reason our witness here can't admit the truth. Would Apollo really say that? Sorry, I don't know why this occurs to me right now, but as far as like localization goes and etc. and whatnot, does Apollo really call their superstitions weird? Because it seems kind of like he's like a little insulting. You think? A little insensitive for Apollo. Their superstitions may be the reason our witness here can't have been the truth. The truth that he really did see Temataro.
Darn straight, that's why. It's all right here.
Do not gaze upon Temataro, do not tell others if you see him. Ignoring the superstitions will cost you your soul. There is, however, one way to save it your immediate departure from the village. Freeing him will bring ruin upon the village. So if you see him, you run. Interesting. Ignoring the superstitions will cost you your soul.
See? That's why us folks in Ninetales Vale can't talk about seeing Temataro.
That clears up one mystery. The killer took advantage of the superstitions by wearing a Temataro costume. They knew that that way no one could talk about him, so it was as if he never existed. The defense holds that this Temataro impersonates the true killer.
Objection!
Superstition, you say? What kind of a fool would actually believe such rubbish? And would that using some silly fairy tale could so easily expose the culprit? You'll need to come up with a more rational, common sense
Objection!
Your common sense is awfully narrow-minded to me, prosecutor.
Objection!
Try living in my world of narrow cells, mortal danger, and dark sleepless nights. There's no lack of superstitions in the clink, but few of those who truly believe in them.
Objection!
Well, the village superstitions are real enough for people in Ninetales Vale. A life or death superstition might make even you a believer. Is he gonna break those? Oh. That doesn't look particularly strong back and forth, but whatever.
Order, I say.
Fool of a Tanuki! 2 times now, your lies have cost me.
So sorry. Promise not to do it again.
Fuck that, mine, fine. How about him?
No! Don't eat me alive! Over the hills!
He took off.
Bailiff, what are you waiting for? After him! Your fastest men!
That's certainly not something you see every day. Impressive.
Well, it would seem a new and important fact has come to light. A third party disguised as a yokai Temataro is at the scene. And now we have 2 witnesses who can test that fact. Any objections, Prosecutor Blackwell?
Oh, there they are. They broke.
What?
Oh. Ah.
His shackles.
What?
I'm too young to die. Justice done. Long has it been since I've been forced to draw my blade. You would best say your prayers. Excuse me, miss. We're in a court of law. Where's the bailiff? Where's Fulbright? Where's his blade that he's talking about?
The detective do something.
No fear. Fulbright is here. When the going gets tough, the champion of justice gets going.
Objection!
Then get going already before he kills us. Well, I stand in awe of Simon Blackville. What his sense of justice that set him free?
Objection! Objection! I object to Detective Fulbright's definition of justice.
Silence!
Not in the habit of cutting down unarmed cowards.
Oh, well, in that case, Prosecutor Blackwell, can I ask you to, you know?
I think the judge forgot he's in charge here. So, Justice Dono's assertions is this. Temataro's the real killer, not Mia Tenma. According to him, there was a yokai at the scene of the crime. Right. that yokai, or rather, whoever was impersonating him, killed all.
Silence!
Care to explain? Well, Jinxie, being the first to discover the murder, did not see your alleged killer yokai there in the fox chamber. What? Sorry, she said nothing about Tamatar being in the fox chamber. Let me enlighten you. The little scamp heard a dying scream right before she opened the chamber door. And your point is? Upon opening the door, she found a freshly secured murder victim, the alderman, and the homicidal maniac who had killed him, the mayor. No, there must have been someone dressed up like Tenma. Oh. Then, why does that little scamp claim not to have seen yokai in the fox chamber?
Considering her father was accused of murder, surely she would have mentioned any third party that might have been in the room.
I don't understand. Why didn't she see Tamatar inside the fox chamber? Because he was in the air vent. He vented like a sussy imposter. That is what one wanted to find out. Ask Jinxie Tenma whether she saw your killer yokai at the scene of the crime. The final battle draws nigh. Only one of us will live alive. Long has my blade thirsted for blood, and long last it shall be sated. Wait, this is still a trial, right? Show me what you're truly capable of. Justice, Dono.
Very well then. Both parties no doubt need some time to regroup. So the court will take a 10-minute recess in order to... Ah,
3 minutes.
I'm sorry, but a 3-minute recess.
Just so. Plenty of time if your destination of the intent is the loo.
You mean the bathroom?
Sheesh. At least include enough time to wash our hands. See that you take no more than 3 minutes. All latecomers will be punished.
Yes, sir. I hereby declare a 3-minute recess before the battle begins.
I declare Prosecutor Blacknell the winner of this round of Simon Says. Doesn't bode well for us or the prosecutors running the show, does it? Suppose not. There's a very rhythmic sense of letters. It's like a Rage Against the Machine song. He busted out of his shackles. Yeah, what's that all about? Guess they don't make shackles like they used to. Gotta be careful, Apollo. You've really brought out the samurai in him. Especially if you proved there was a Temataro impersonator of the manor. What's with that guy in the whole samurai act anyway?
Such fine swordsmanship. That is no mere act. Mr. Justice, it's high time I challenge this jailhouse prosecutor to a duel.
No, wait. Let's save the duel until after we prove your innocence.
I suppose we can wait till later.
Does anyone know we're conducting a trial? Athena, I'm gonna go watch up. Remember what Black Rose said, Apollo? Don't be late.
Oh, I believe our next witness is Miss Jinxie Tenma. I made a QB manner. I believe we can proceed now if the witness is ready, that is.
Maria, the other 100 demons, really does exist.
That is one polished tray.
The witness will show her face while in court, or her testimony will be inadmissible. Oh, what is it, my child?
Come on, Nerhion. The other 100 demons.
Oh, you think I'm a yokai? Well, I was once known as a judicial monster of sorts. The beast of the bar. The demon of due process, if you will.
Make sure I'm his notebook. The demon of due process? Not sure I can see that one. Now, you little scum. I trust you know why you're here.
Bags.
Bags. Oh, that tricksy Tanuki. Try the noodle stand.
And go into a big bowl of Tanuki tail noodles while you're at it.
I made your bags. One into your eyes. I must have trouble seeing. Here, this charm will keep Azukiarai away.
Azukiarai. The yokai that washes Suzuki beans. The only thing needing washing will be your father's neck before I take his head clean off.
Azukiarai often keeps you up at night while it's noisy makes washing beans. If you stick this charm on your forehead, you won't hear him anymore.
Is that so? Well, thank you. Looks like Prosecutor Blackman got more than you bargained for. They're bad enough alone, but together those two are just plain creepy.
Your testimony, if you please, Miss Tenma. Specifically, whether or not you saw Tenma Taro or you discovered the crime scene.
Did I see Temataro in the box?
Well, when I opened the door, I saw. Yeah, sorry, Ruby. You're okay. You're okay, right there in that room.
So there was a yokai at the scene of the crime?
Uh-huh. Lots and lots of them.
Wait, more than one yokai? Did Temataro happen to be among them?
I don't know. I just don't know. All I know is there was Shimi and yokai. Kasha, Yurikabe, Sedokasha. They're all there.
Well, this is an unexpected turn of events. We've gone from no yokai to a flood of them.
This is ludicrous. You would have this court listen to this delusional little scump's testimony.
Hold it!
Your Honor, I believe her memory is simply clouded by fear. But a quick therapy session should ease her mind. With the court's permission, of course.
What a fabulous idea. Please proceed, Miss Sykes.
You sure you know what you're doing, Athena? She's obviously not herself. The trauma of discovering that crime scene, and fear of testifying have her dazed and confused. A regular ball of confusion. But my analytical psychology-based approach should be able to help.
Any objections, Prosecutor Blackwell? Shall we let Mr. Sykes proceed?
It makes no difference to me. Do as you will, but I doubt we shall get any viable testimony. Should be better said by bearing witness to the sword skills I forged in a distant land. I'll show you. Yeah, we have her flower to calm her down. Alright, widget. Damn, it's an out of control emotion. Athena, what exactly are we looking at here?
Oh, this. One of widget's functions. Right here, you can see images and motions extract from the witness's voice.
Wow, you know that little thing can do all this?
Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, I thought it was just some kid's toy.
Unfortunately, all I'm getting is an overflow error right now.
See how sad and sprightly look at the bottom left? She's under an uncontrollable amount of distress, masking other emotions. It seems the sheer terror she experienced that made her a confused mess. So, all those yokais she thinks she saw are part of her rampant emotions?
Yeah, that's right. Her fear has instilled in her hallucinations false memories. She's seen normal everyday objects and monsters in her mind. It's a form of schizophrenic hallucination brought on by emotional trauma.
The trauma in Jinx's case is fear. Huh. So she was and still is some ordinary object yokai. I have to find the root cause of her extreme fear before I can treat it. Let's see. Follow. Can you point out the yokai on the Wheel of Fire? Sure, the Nekomata. I assume that has 2 tails. She seems particularly terrified of that one. Start by pressing the probe button. Next, point to what's causing Jinx's out-of-control emotions. Finally, hit probe again to try and get to the heart of the matter. Let's give this a try. Probe cat monster on the Wheel of Fire.
Got it!
Jinxie, what's the name for that yokai on a Wheel of Fire? That's Akasha. A yokai that steals the bodies of the recently deceased. I bet it came to steal the ornaments. It's almost creepy how well that fits the actual situation. Exactly. The form of hallucination where the patient can't see things for what they are. It must be something that's seen the crime that she's mistaken for Akasha is the mask, right? Apollina pointed out what she thought was a yokai on a Wheel of Fire. I know the answer. Jinxie, that wasn't Akasha you saw. Could you have possibly mistaken this for Akasha? We're talking about the box thing directly, like, here.
Take that!
This is what you mistook for Akasha. No? You mistake that for Akasha? You have to consider what Akasha looks like, Apollo. Think brightly blazing wheel near the ceiling. Let's give this a try. Oh, it's not going to penalize me.
Take that!
The light fixture? This one right here. The flame design is up there on the ceiling. There was never a yokai on a Wheel of Fire. The Akasha you saw was just a light fixture. Okay, so we have to do this for all monsters. That's one memory wrecking roll. Nice job. Now you got the hang of it. It should be a pinch. Sorry, I assume pinch with the rest. JC, what about this white wall-like monster? That's Narakabe. It's a wall monster that blocks your way or leads you astray. That's no yokai, Jinxie. It's a folding screen. And this raccoon dog isn't a Mickey monster. It's just a statue of one. And look, these are just coffee cups. And this right here, nothing more than a fox statue. I don't know what I was thinking. There we go. Alright, that's good. You did it, Apollo. Extreme fear is under control now. It was all just my eyes playing tricks. There weren't any yokai after all. See a clear-cut statement. Yeah, but one that's not good for us. That's the power of my psychology and your intuition, Apollo. And just like we thought, there never really were any yokai in the fox chamber. Right. There never really were any yokai there. So, the defense is asserting the exact opposite of their original assertion. Wait. Jinxie, what about Temataro? There wasn't anyone there dressed as Temataro. Or any other yokai either. Very clearly now. You gotta be joking! Also, I'm getting a massive deja vu. I feel like I've seen this before. Like I dreamt that, especially at the bit about the ceiling fan. Water in the court. Just like a grave. Allow me to push you on in. It's the least I could do. No. Apollo, can I interrupt your freak up for just a minute? So pick up some noise. Unexpected emotion. Does that mean Jinxie hasn't remembered everything yet? Exactly. We'll get something else out of her. On to the new information. We haven't run an update. Okay, surprise and sadness. That makes sense. Scare when I entered the room. Okay, surprise was bigger than that. My legs gave out and I fell to the floor. There in the box chamber I saw Shiver. You saw the dead giant and his dad. Everyone's at on table and Papa collapsed in a chair. Nobody else was there. That includes well, what's that thing right there to the right? Wait, what am I supposed to do? How do I find the emotions that contradict your statements? So if I find a contradictory emotion, I should point it out. That's right. Not just contradictory emotions you should look out for. You should also keep an eye out for sudden changes in the emotion's intensity. If your emotions might get stronger or weaker as you move from statement to statement, it's important to compare how the same emotion changes throughout the testimony. Contradictory emotions and changes in intensity. Gotta give it a shot. Okay, well, we definitely saw an intensity change in the second one, I think. I was so scared. Well, that doesn't make sense, could you? That doesn't make sense.
Got it!
Right? If she's so scared, then it shouldn't be sadness? Oh, shoot, or no. Wait.
Got it!
I can't really tell, like, which one is more intense than the other. Like, they're both just different. My legs give out and I fall to the floor. Well, I mean, the sadness got really small. Then it went back up.
Got it!
Why is your sadness lower during that one? The amount of fear you felt is rather low despite your legs hanging out from fright. Oh, that's not sadness, that's fear. They need to label those things. Because something that lessened your fear. Actually, I did experience a sudden burst of courage at that moment. You did? Where did it come from? No. Let me think. It was Mom. I suddenly felt she was there with me. Okay, I want her sudden burst of courage. Let's see. Look. Apollo, the noise is all gone. Jinxie seems to remember everything now. Why do you feel courageous watching her that? A sudden burst of courage. Now, where could that have come from? Jinxie, was there something that gave you a sudden burst of courage? Yes, there was, but I realized I had done something naughty when I thought about it later. Any idea what could have given Jinxie that courage? Well, there is one piece of evidence going on the flower. Wonder if she saw something like that at the scene of the crime. Jinxie, did your sudden burst of courage have anything to do with this?
Take that!
You didn't happen to see a nine-tails flower there at the scene, did you? The demon lawyer strikes again. I can't hide anything from you. I found a small case with a picture of a nine-tails flower on it. I liked it so much I kept it. You what? You can't remove evidence from a crime scene.
That's right, young lady. Removing evidence is a big no-no. Now, the witness will produce that evidence this instant.
Sorry.
It does seem to be some sort of case. Oh, look, something stood out. It appears to be a key.
Might I have a look, your boys? This is none other than the master key to QB Manor.
Are you certain of this, Prosecutor Blackwell?
It matches the serial number of the key that went missing after the murder. A master key that went missing? Why don't I like the sound of that? Our little scamp here stumbled upon an article of unimaginable consequence. It's a little melodramatic, don't you think? Heed these words, for I shall say them but once. The sole key to the Fox Chamber has been in this little scamp's constant possession. Ergo, she was the sole person who could use it before, during, and after the murder. Which leaves the master key as the only other key that could have opened the chamber. But this master key was found in a room that had been locked by this girl. And your point is? Until Jinxie Tenma opened the Fox Chamber with a key, the room had been locked tight from the outside world, and there was no one else in there, save the victim and his killer. I trust you have figured it out for yourself by now. A killer other than Mayor Tenma himself would be utterly inconceivable. Well, she said she found it, though. Like, when she went in, right?
Objection!
So he dropped it. How could this happen?
The defense's assistant will refrain from growling her frustrations.
Athena, are you alright? I know Mayor Tenma's innocent, but there's nothing we can do. They haven't given us the key yet. This sucks. Sykes, don't know. Allow me to put you out of your misery. Can I decline your offer? Abandon your client in your misplaced faith in me. Let the relief of a clear head and a clean conscience come rushing in. That will make the inevitable guilty verdict far easier to accept. Great. Now he's playing Simon Says with us. Well, he's not going to fool us with stupid mind games. Athena, don't fall for his tricks. I'm the one who's dazed and confused. He's straight. No, you're right. We're in church. Now, I suggest you make a mad dash from this courtroom into the wild blue yonder. Only by running shall your mind be cleared and your conscience cleansed. Alright, I'll be back in 10. Stay with me, Athena. Don't let yourself be twisted by that samurai. Apollo?
Mr. Justice, I heard the word objection, but what is it you object to?
Huh? Oh, right. That ambition was more a reflex than anything else. Though I was hoping something would come in while I was trying to stop Athena.
The court is waiting, Mr. Justice.
Oh, as it stands now.
You will be forced to declare your client guilty and your legal skills suspect if this is it. Don't you have anything that could overturn the prosecution's case?
Well, actually I do. I'm Apollo Justice, and I'm fine. Hello. You do something more than your cord of steel, don't you? Not really. But we'll be fine. I've got absolutely nothing. That's never stopped me before. I have to explain how the real killer could escape the locked room. Because it's all over if I don't. Apollo, let's go for a new approach. Try to think outside the box. Well, in this case, inside the box. Do that often is too. I used the wrong words there.
Well, Mr. Justice, do you have anything that can counter the prosecution's argument?
You bet I do. The real killer must escape from the locked room one way or another. We sure are taking our sweet-ass time to get around to this. Vague. But I will only earn you a taste of my blade, Justice Dono. Do or die, literally.
The defense will now explain how it would be possible to escape the locked room.
You sure about this, Apollo? Can you really explain what happened? I'm fine. We just need to think this whole escapee and locked room thing over from the beginning. So, let's see. Killer had escaped. How could they have done so? The choices are pretty limited. The room has a window, but it doesn't open wide enough for anyone to get through. There's a sheer cliff outside. As for the air vent, it's up too high and there's nothing you could stand on to reach it. And needless to say, the forbidden chamber wouldn't open no matter what we did, so that's out. Yeah, that's why we gotta keep the solution simple. Like they say, simple is best. We need to rule out all the absolutely impossible escape routes. Then, whatever's left just might lead us to how the Fox Chamber is compromised. Your Honor, the defense proposes that the killer escape through here. I mean, I think they escaped through the air duct.
Take that!
Just how did the killer escape through there, Mr. Justice? Was that just the wrong part?
Take that!
Right there. Really, it's not the air vent. Not the air vent. Are we saying he escaped through the door? I wonder where she found... What if, I mean, what if they just like waited, you know? Through the door. Like hid behind the door.
Take that!
And went from there.
The holy door? Why, yes, I suppose that would be the only way out.
It would appear you've already forgotten. The only available key until Jinxie Tenma came on scene was within that locked room. How would one exit the Fox Chamber and then lock it without a key? Let's see this coming. Remember, Apollo, keep it simple. Simple, right. I understand that the killer had exited the room with the key, but...
Well, Mr. Justice, the prosecution has some fine Japanese steel waiting unless you explain yourself quickly.
Oh, I'm fine. Can explain myself. The reason the Fox Chamber's hallway door was locked was because Tenma locked it from inside. It locked on its own. The perp locked it from outside. Wait, sorry, are we saying that it was locked when she got there? How would you exit the Fox Chamber and lock it without a key? Tenma locked it from inside. Or it locked on its own. Do we have any evidence? After leaving this room, the passenger let a bend in the hall as he was so she saw him at the fork. There's no one else in the hall. The hallway door is locked because Temma locked it from the outside so that like no one could come in? Or the perp locked it from outside? I mean, she heard jingly jangling as he ran away. But that was probably the staff, not like the keychain. Couldn't he have planted the key on her? As he was going, maybe? I don't remember anything about it locking on its own. Actually, I don't think it's that. I'm gonna go with the perp locked it from the outside. What if the room was locked from the outside? In other words, the killer took the key through the hallway door, then locked it. Consider this. The master key was found inside the tightly locked chamber. Any assertion that the key was removed from that room is a blatant contradiction of fact. Fixing the room before locking the door would require taking the key outside, but the key was found inside the room, which doesn't seem like a contradiction. Like, how the key could be inside the room and be used to lock the door from outside. Whoa. Let's see if the defense can respond before Prosecutor Blackwell draws his sword. How could the master key be at the crime scene, despite the room being locked tight? Slipped it in when the door was locked, or slipped it in when the door was open. Threw it in from the outside or changed the lock. What if he threw it in using this? It might have been at the crime scene. Because was the window open? I don't think they could change the lock fast enough. That seems pretty absurd. I mean, you could just chuck it as hard as you can through the air duct. Or drop it in. If he left and then went to the air duct, dropped it down, and then left through the air duct, and I guess that would count as something. What if someone threw it into the room from outside? You know, something like open the hallway door, lock the room, and then toss the key back in through the window. That would explain how the master key could be locked inside the locked room. And where would you throw it from? There's a cliff outside the clock chamber's window. Throwing the key in from there is an impossibility. Could have been tossed into somewhere other than the window. Somewhere other than the window? Could the key have been tossed in through somewhere other than the window? And where did the killer toss the key? There we go.
Take that!
The air vent. The air vent? Yes. The window may be out of the question, but the air vent's not. Oh, that's right. The Fox's chamber air duct leads out into the hallway. That's right. The real killer entered the air duct from the vent outside the Fox chamber, then dropped the key into the room through the vent inside the chamber. Preposterous. That explains how the key got in there after it was used to lock the door perfectly.
That's atrocious. I'm afraid I'm a bit confused.
Don't worry. I'll explain it so even Your Honor can understand. First, the real killer, disguised as Timataro, murders someone. Then they fled the room through the hallway door and locked it. Next, they entered the air duct from the vent outside the hallway. Finally, the killer tossed the key into the room through the air vent in the ceiling there. All it was left to do after that was to go back through the duct and through the manor. Well, Your Honor, could that be any clearer? It does explain why she didn't see him.
Amazing. Even I could follow that.
The judge seems really pleased. That means everything. The real killer was someone dressed up like Temataro, and there was someone else other than the mayor and the alderman.
Whichever prosecutor.
Oh, total turn now.
Has afforded some sort of traffic now.
Order. Order, I say.
Now that I've proved a possible third party, I don't see how a client could be.
Silence!
A valiant effort, Justice Dimnu. But your final thrust missed its mark. Both that little scamp and the tricksy Tanuki saw the yokai after it left the room. But then what? That irksome yokai simply go through the foyer and waltz right out the front door. That's exactly what happened. The killer fled from the... But that is impossible. Without being spotted by the foyer security camera, it is. The little guy here would have captured any pesky little yokai trying to escape. However, there is no sign of Temataro anywhere in the security footage. What? Save for the foyer entrance, there's no other way to flee the manor, is there? Oh, I don't...
Hold it!
Wait, I believe there is one other way to escape besides the foyer entrance. There's a large window in the foyer. It's possible to escape through there without being seen by the security cameras.
Silence!
Once I point out every crucial detail to the defense. It seems you lack not only brains, but investigative prowess to prove the boot. That is the cliff side of the manor. The only killer escaping that way would be a dead one. Oh. Wait, so the killer didn't escape out the foyer window? What the heck? I suppose your next proposal is the killer sprouted wings and flew off into the sunset. I mean, the killer really was a yokai. If only we had some sort of evidence that could point to a flying killer. Who's saying we don't? It's completely far-fetched as it might be. What? You're saying you can prove the killer could fly? Yeah, we have a newspaper article for it. Oh, I thought I was the one with the core of steel.
Oh, I can't wait to hear this.
Your Honor? What evidence do we have that the killer flew away on his tiny-ass little throw wings?
Take that!
This is the evidence. Take a look at this special edition paper. Temataro, real or flight or fancy. What does this article prove, Mr. Justice? Oh, sorry, I'm reading the wrong person. The photo in that article was taken shortly after the murder. The yokai in that photo is the killer shortly after they fly out the window.
Mr. Justice, you're not seriously suggesting.
Oh, I'm serious. I mean, it all adds up. The killer, disguised as Temataro, flew away. You know, by
Silence!
This is your brain that is from the coop. That imagery is naught but trick photography, some other form of artifice. Okay, then how would the Temataro's figure Mr. Filch saw just vanish into thin air? Maybe there's a rational, common sense explanation for that. That infernal yokai, our tricksy Tanuki witness, never reached the entrance. He, or should I say she, turned back before the camera's electric eye. She. I don't like where this is going one bit. Now, the fact that we know the yokai had come from the Fox Chamber means that it was likely either Mayor Tenmi and Tenma or his daughter Jinx Tenma. Oh, we only know that Mayor Tenma was already unconscious at the time. Not good. Not good at all. Do you understand the gravity of the situation now, Justice Dono? The falsified yokai remnants. And the appearance of Tenma Taro were the work of one individual. And that individual is none other than Jinxie Tenma. But she has no motive. We've been over this. No! I really hope this is a to be continued moment.
Water! The defense will stop competing for the greatest freakout ever!
The little scamp was, no doubt, simply trying to protect her father. It's no wonder that her superstitious mind conjured up all this mad masquerade.
Prosecutor Blackwell's assertion makes perfect sense to me. Far more convincing than saying the killer escaped by flying out the window.
Did you truly believe this court could end any other way? Did we fall right into his trap? What do we do now, Apollo? Our case no longer stands without a real yokai. Well, we had one.
Bailiff?
Seize her. It is time I interrogated her as the samurai of yore would. Mayor Tenma? Sorry. You know that thing where you're tired and your eyes are closing and you're trying to like fight to keep them open? That's what mine are doing right now. This farce is over. How does it feel seeing your own daughter accused of cover-up most foul?
Tenma Taro's true identity is...
Now, Mr. Mayor. It would be futile at this point to claim that you were the yokai. After all, you have been knocked out cold by a blow to the skull. Slipping into a yokai costume and roaming with the man would be all but impossible. Consider this well. As it stands, your daughter will be arrested for obstruction of justice. But if you confess, the prosecution will be willing to overlook her little yokai farce.
Confess? The defendant intends to confess.
Wait! Hello. Prosecutor Blackwell is up to his mind games again. Mayor Tenma, no! Don't fall for his twisted words. If you're sent away for murder, Jinxie will be left all alone. Tenma's gotta confess unless we do something. I can't prove how the real killer could have flown away.
Caw. Look upon me in despair, for rape is the time for my return.
Huh? Uh-oh. Should watch what I wish for. Amazing.
Caw. Foolish mortals. I am Tenma Taro, the yokai you seek.
Mayor Tenma?
Silence! I am Tenma Taro, freed from the bonds binding me to the Forbidden Chamber. Behold, the return of the Demon King.
What the? Demon King?
Oh, I think it's time for me to take a vacation.
We're gonna have to process something to try to, like, make him not be stupid.
The witness will explain himself. Are you saying you're Tenma Taro, the yokai we've been chasing this whole time? Indeed, it is I, Tenma Taro, the one whom you seek, come to reveal the truth. This child is Tenma Taro, you say? What nonsense.
So, Mayor Tenma is a yokai now?
His body is now mine.
So you're saying,
You're saying that Mayor Tenma is being possessed by you, and that the yokai that Jinxie Tenma and Phineas Filch saw, and the one captured in the newspaper photo, those were all you. The accursed power of those wooden charms prevent me from revealing my true form. this not be interpreted as an admission of guilt? Confession by yokai will be quite unprecedented. Be that as it may, the defense's case has been overturned. Huh? Hey. You claim the yokai that little scamp saw was some third party, the true killer. The one who escaped from the Lock's Fox chamber. But it was the accused all along. Ironic, is it not? Your yokai turned up to be real in a manner of speaking. For the alderman's killer is none other than Mayor Tenma. And the yokai at the scene. That too was Mayor Tenma. Or should I say, our dear Tenmataro. Pieces all fall into place. No, they haven't, because they were found together in the same room. It's not like he ran away. How so, Prosecutor Blackwell? I'll spell it out for you. Mayor Tenma killed the alderman in the Fox chamber, which was locked at the time. He then removed the warning charms from the forbidden chamber's door. But then fell unconscious from the blow the alderman had delivered to his head. That's when his daughter, Jinxie Tenma, sold him and sealed the crime. Little scamp fled in terror, whereupon the spirit of Tenmataro freed at last from the charm's warming effects to possession of the mayor. The newly freed Tenmataro fled the Fox chamber. So you see, the yokai Jinxie Tenma saw was her father Tenmataro. But when we arrived on scene, the mayor was found unconscious. How's that possible? We're supposed to have flown before a window. Then what? Do you mean to say the maid of QB Manor, Jinxie Tenma, was Tenmataro? That too is easily explained. About for a long time did I, but presently tired, I made for the forbidden chamber. But alas, exhaustion took me unawares in the vault chamber, and I knew no more. You have seen the pieces are still in place. Yeah, I just don't know what to say. It's the defendants are real life.
True? Maybe you kind of real. You really did kill the one just to release Tenmataro?
Water.
That's why everyone in the corner believing yokai. Simon says on steroids. He wants to convict our client any way he can, even if it means blaming a yokai.
The proverbial doxar and all. Should have no qualms about finding the accused guilty, your boldness. It's one of the most bizarre cases of my entire career. Otherworldly, in fact. Can yokai even be prosecuted under?
Objection!
Mayor Tenma is just pretending to be Tenmataro to protect his daughter. Plus, I already proved how a third party could have escaped from the locker room. A verdict at this point would be premature. Since both sides have raised valid points, I have no choice but to... This is the dark age of law where defense attorneys don't be trusted. But deploy to gain time for them to fabricate evidence. How will I sleep tonight? Knowing you will not let the sun rise.
Objection!
I want fabricated evidence.
Silence!
Then prove it by joining me. A night in the clink will ensure you'll not succumb to the temptation. How can I just promise not to succumb to anything? We have both evidence and a confession. The killer is this yokai before us, beyond dispute. A guilty verdict roll, but... Wait, what? What's wrong with him? Prosecutor Blackwell, we've had enough of your hijinks. The foundation of justice is fair play. You are in serious violation of that. What was that? Fool Bright, have you tampered with my shackles in some manner? It seems you found that quite shocking. It's my special jolt of justice device. Each press is a shocking reminder to behave. You shall pay for this. I, Simon Black. Ooh! Your Honor, you need not fear now. I believe Prosecutor Black will remain on his best behavior.
Late with the insurances, aren't we?
Well, in that case, this concludes today's deliberations. The prosecution and defense will use this opportunity to further investigation. Court is adjourned.
Good, because my eyes are so tired. To be continued. Oh man, that was a long one. I mean, it was only 2 hours and 15 minutes, but I don't know, man. It's just been a long day. So it's good so far. Yeah, I don't really care for this prosecutor. I will say he's not particularly. I don't know. He's a weeb that has committed a crime and still somehow gets to prosecute. I don't understand, and I think it's really dumb because the idea that they're like, yup, he can try people and he can do a job that involves helping other people either pass or fail. Like, it's so, I don't know. We'll see. The sword thing, I don't mind. I don't think I mind the samurai thing that much because swords are amusing, and they were amusing in the other great Ace Attorney games. But yeah, I don't know, man. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for watching. Apologies for slowly starting to drift off at the end there. But I'll catch you all tomorrow for some more